that except crazy?
News making the headlines.
Black Maria is to carry criminals, trading looters that are in government today.
Sometimes it gets confrontational.
Slap you in the face.
They don't put words into my mouth.
Whatever it is that will bring our military to disrepute, I say to hell.
On Core Digest,
I want to know why I should be believing them.
every weekday, we bring all of these together and take them to the court of public opinion.
Everybody has a right in Nigeria.
Where you are the judge.
Alright, so welcome back, and it's time now to go into the main discuss. Hashtag Occupy NAS protest, a gathering revolution. Well, some school of thought are quick to point out that, hey, we got 1001 reasons to protest or occupy Nigeria in its entirety. The economy is down. The president has even said, look, I empathize with you Nigerians that despite the bailout funds we gave to states, more than 2/3 of them can't still meet it. But this protest is rather directed at the number 3 citizens, where some people are asking him to step down from his high horse, and others are saying, no, it's a political witch hunt. What are we doing right or wrongly here, Bola?
One thing I know for sure that we're doing right is the newfound culture of political activism that I'm seeing in the polity. As a Democrat or somebody that believes that in a democracy, those who are fortunate to be on the side of the divide of those who govern must be accountable to those who are governed. I am particularly always impressed when I see any form of democratic activism that brings about or that makes the governed to ask those who govern them to be accountable in whichever respect that they desire. That is the positive thing. That is incontrovertibly the positive dimension of it for me. Now, let's come to the particular instance that you are questioning me about. I am also happy because and as I usually do, I will do again this morning. I am one who believes that it's about time Saraki resigned. I am one who believes again that it's about time Saraki resigned. And lastly, I am one who believes that it's about time Saraki resigned. Having said that, I cannot sit here and pretend or want to romanticize the fact that Saraki is a subject of witch hunt. But you know what? Like Chief Gadifayami used to say in those days, are your hands clean? Why are they not witch hunting Christian Ogodo? Why are they not witch hunting Bola Oba? Why is it that in Saraki they are witch hunting? In the chamber, the upper chamber of the National Assembly, where Saraki happens to be
the president of the Senate,
and
the chairman of the National Assembly,
just one amongst equals.
Yeah,
there are 109 senators. For now, they are not witch hunting anybody yet, but they are witch hunting Saraki. Now, if I sit here and I say I cannot explain away the fact that Saraki is being witch hunted, I will then look at certain factors that will instruct. Let's put it this way: Saraki may or is being witch hunted but the extolled office of the president of the Senate is not Saraki.
So it does not need any taint at all.
And insomuch as Saraki has been docked now to answer to certain infractions of the law, allegedly, and is defending himself, I think it is just reasonable in such an instance that he takes a walk from that lofty office of state. That is my own belief.
Okay.
Now, if I then see people who go to the National Assembly to say about time Saraki resigned, I cannot sit here and condemn them. And yet, if I see people, Nigerians too, who believe that, you know what, Saraki is being witch-hunted, and we also believe that it's our right to go to the National Assembly too and defend him up until when he's pronounced guilty by a prima facie tribunal of justice or court of law. I think they're doing the right thing too. So the gain of it, you know, the summary of it for me is that I'm beginning to see political activism, and I know ultimately it will make those who are in government to know that people are watching them, and if they are taken for granted for too long, they will react. Because you must remember that this Occupy National Assembly phenomenon took its life when recently it does seem that especially the upper chamber of the National Assembly was taking Nigerians for granted, becoming insensitive and somewhat greedy. The contemplation that they wanted to change the CCT Act because of Saraki's case was very
met very stiff opposition,
perturbing to people, and people resisted it.
Yeah.
The idea that they were indeed contemplating the amendment of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act that has made it so possible for Saraki's case to have gone thus far.
Yeah.
Because in times past in Nigeria, people
it would have been installed in appellate courts.
It would have been installed because he would have bought justice by just getting his lawyers to file injunctions here and there, frivolous this thing. That was disturbing to so many people. Now, in the midst of all that, these people went ahead to acquire 36 SUVs,
state of the art, at 37 million naira each.
The most expensive of the class, of the brand and model. So, you know, I cannot sit here and say, you know, relative to other arms of government, the executive and the judiciary, that what they've done is totally untoward. But at least when people intend to burn you, you too don't soak your body with is it palm oil now, or we say with petrol. Petrol is very expensive now.
You won't even want to do that. And if you buy in jerrycan, the IG will arrest you. but
what wanted to come out of my mouth was I'm not having power. There's no power. I struggle to buy a generator with which I will generate power for myself. So somebody is sitting in Abuja, his life is totally padded, he gets free, you know, free power generation, you know, the Nigerian police buys the generator in his own house, fills it up with this thing, and is telling me not to buy petrol. The easiest and most commonsensical way possible to fill my generator. People just talk sometimes in Nigeria, and they just make themselves sound very distant from the reality of the people.
Absolutely.
So what else would people who need to put
to generate power,
who need to put petrol in their generators? How else would they? So they will carry the generator
like the artisans, for example. Let's even leave
who practically subsist by depending on generators, because the public power is not there. And people will make statements sometimes, and you shake your head. They're so distant from the reality, the reality of the country. Well,
let me ask you this again. Yes, the Occupy NAS protest, is come and gone. In other climb, it probably would have been sustained, because when you make demands, it's not just a one-off protest, but that is what we usually have in the country. So I was just going to ask that we don't seem to have, a culture of real organized protest. Labor is already, quiet, docile in this matter.
Labor is divided. If you say quiet, you must tie the quietude to the factor that brought about the quietude. And it's not as if labor is totally quiet. We've had the two factions of the Nigerian Labour Congress say something recently. Ayuba Waba was the other day talking about 58,000 naira minimum wage. I was shaking my head. I was wondering whether he was living in.
He must be living in the moon,
in Kuku land. 18,000 naira.
They have not been able to pay.
They never pay. Ajero, sometimes, occasionally, when he wants to be hard, locks down Ikeja by locking down
Ikeja disco.
But you must realize that Ikeja is a very strategic industrial conurbation in Nigeria.
Oh yes.
So he locks down Ikeja. By locking down Ikeja disco, by going into dance with Ikeja disco. So the labor movement itself is in a very unfortunate state.
Yeah.
Unfortunate state, because those who are in the leadership of the labor movement are basically for me, this is my personal opinion, basically using it as a platform for opportunistic gains for themselves, rather than the strategic this thing that is needed to be addressed for the improvement in the quality of the working life of an average Nigerian worker. That's the reality of where we are now. The students' movement.
Okay.
You and I know the degeneracy that has overtaken the students' movement since our time, or even before our time, since the time of Akintude Ojo that you earlier alluded to, when you were doing your intro before you went into the papers, to where the student union movement is now. The students are best. They are best now.
Award
givers to politicians for them to fleece money out of the members of the political class, and they are at best political orisers to some political chieftains. So we are where we are. But having said that, the case is not totally lost, because the social media platforms are beginning to give people, because about 1.5-2 weeks ago, somebody actually was trying to poach me for the Occupy National Assembly hashtag Occupy NAS this thing. So the social media platforms are becoming more relevant at linking people with common this thing. However,
you don't need all the advertisement, the fiscal advertisement on the streets,
because people will just forward it to, if I get it,
you
and
share.
I believe in it, I share with my friend, with my group of friends,
Yeah.
and any amongst my group of friends.
You
who
chat and
subscribes
say,
to
look, we are going to converge there.
Okay, I said about 1.5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I actually got that on social day, maybe on was it 27th of this thing. Let's occupy National Assembly. If I was in Abuja, probably I would have attended it.
Your friend and one of our guests here was there, Barrister Adiola Samuel.
But you see, one thing that I also have to put in the public sphere, because when you people call me to platforms like this as an analyst, I tend to want to look at all the factors at play, even beyond the factors that I ideologically agree with. We cannot sit here, or GBOLA cannot sit here and pretend as though the hashtag Occupy Nas campaign, or indeed those who are hashtag support Saraki, this thing that conflicted on the premises of National Assembly, I cannot say that the two of them, or indeed one of them, are not sponsored. We know that people have, some people in politics especially, or in government, or some opponents of government, are now fast perfecting the art of getting people who have one or two reasons to be disgruntled about a particular person, in this instance Saraki, that GBOLA is disgruntled with, or a particular institution of state, in this instance the Senate, that I believe the present leadership of the Senate is running aground because of certain decisions or positions they take that seem insensitive and indeed greedy, or for some who believe that Saraki should remain. I am not going to sit here and say some people are not putting relevant resources.
Stoking the fire. But if you look at it, you remember when Wall Street was occupied just barely 2 years ago.
No, it's been a while now.
Yeah, just
Occupy Wall Street was about 4 or 5 years ago.
No, Occupy Wall Street came up again.
That lasted, the first one that lasted for more than a week before the police dispersed it.
Yeah.
The New York police dispersed it.
Yeah.
Which accusations of high-handedness was this thing?
They came back again.
I know. It was the first one that gave back to
others.
Occupy chain.
Absolutely.
The global Occupy chain.
Absolutely.
It's all over the world.
All over the world. Yeah, but besides labor that is divided, the student union that is now reduced themselves to touting, so to speak, the other
okay, I will give my promoter to touting.
Okay. And the CSOs and even the individuals that we usually civil society organizations, and certain individuals that we would rise to the occasion, they are laying back now. And the people, the mass of the people, are always looking for that leader who is going to take the lead.
I don't want to totally agree with you.
Okay. And
the reason why I don't want to totally agree with you is because the reality of our circumstances at this juncture is that a couple of days ago we had a number of Nigerians who, under the hashtag Occupy National Assembly or hashtag Occupy NAS, at least openly vented their displeasure and anger with the conduct of some of our legislators. Abi?
Yeah.
You cannot now then say that those people fell down from heaven. They are Nigerians too. And a mechanism or some mechanisms must have been articulated to bring about the reality of that public protestation.
Yeah.
You must, however, realize that we are living in a changing world. The days when we were in school, the way we organized, anti-establishment protest movements was dramatically different.
Oh, yeah.
From what prevails now. Majority of us now carry smartphones, and the best recruiting platform, the best platform to recruit people from whatever cause that you believe in is through. So we may not be seeing those institutions playing the roles they used to effectively play in the days when information management and information dissemination was a one track top down thing. We are in the age of surveillance, not surveillance. What do I mean by surveillance? The French word sous, S for sugar, O for Oscar, U for universe, S for sugar again. Is the sous chef. Is the one under. There was a time when it was the state that had the infrastructure to do surveillance. They looked down on us. They spoke down on us. And leaderships of organizations such as the ones we've defined, labor, students,
market
women, religious leaders, used to talk down on people. But even these days, I don't want to advertise some churches, but on a typical Sunday morning, I don't usually go to church, but I get to listen or watch live on my phone some of the best known Nigerian Pentecostal pastors on my phone. You just download the app of the church and you watch some prominent. I don't want to advertise for their ministries. So the revolution in technology has
changed everything.
Has changed the methodology of recruiting people for courses. But the reality is that a couple of days ago, the National Assembly had some visitors. They were not the normal visitors to the place.
Yeah.
And and they made their points. They made their points. And some people also came and said they were pro Saraki. And
anti-Saraki too.
And they had their day.
Yeah.
The hashtag Occupy NAS people were the anti-Saraki people.
Yeah, I know.
And the pro Saraki also came.
Yeah.
So.
But it's really nice to know that the police are gradually, knowing how to treat protesters, and protesters to not resorting to violence and not going against the ground norm of the rules and the rest. But we'll come back to that when we'll go on this short break to take one or two messages. Join us again.
For topical issues, Nigerians must have something to say.
Arms. We don't need arms for anything. Let them put it into education.
They need to buy another arms now. What are they fighting for? Government should deal with them squarely.
Please help us bring back our guests. No money, no markets. We are dying. Everybody is crying. Nothing.
Any man God support, no man stops. It's a prophecy I believe he must have received from heaven. Yes.
The people giving voice to the voiceless.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digit 360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
TV News now live on all Androids.
Welcome to Core TV Primetime News.
Download Core TV News app from your Play Store. Click on the menu to see all our top stories from politics, sports, business, foreign news and live TV to watch us live on your mobile.
I want to know why I should be believing them.
You can also click on video to see all our YouTube videos. Core TV News, a 24-hour news station.
Is it what crazy or autocracy? Or what type of crazy is that? Except crazy.
News making the headlines.
Black Maria is to carry criminals, treasure looters that are in government today.
Sometimes it gets confrontational.
Slap you in the face. Excuse me, don't put words into my mouth.
Whatever it is that will bring our military to the secret. I said to hell.
On Core Digest,
I want to know why I should be believing them.
Every weekday, we bring all of these together and take them to the court of public opinion.
Everybody has a right in Nigeria.
Where you are the judge.
All right, so welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're still on to Core Digest, and we're looking at the hashtag Occupy NAS protest, a gathering revolution. Are they doing it well or not? Or are we really developing a new culture of peaceful protest? We don't say protest and go and wreak havoc by destroying property and even taking off lives and the rest. But there seems to be a new synergy too. The police and other security agencies are now becoming aware of the fundamental rights of the individual to protest and the rest, and ugly incidents here are avoided, you know. But we're yet to see protesters go to the presidential villa, for example, any of the gates, whether gates A or B or the other one that is not open to the public.
One of the reasons I told you earlier on why I like the hashtag Occupy NAS campaign, and indeed the contrarian campaign to it, which was pro-Saraki, essentially is because this kind of campaigns will stimulate political activism, like I said. I just want to tell those who may be pro hashtag Occupy NAS today, but who may also become victims of Occupy, say, Aso Rock. If we feel the government is becoming irresponsible or not quite acting responsively to, is one thing for the president to come out and say he understands that people are suffering and things are hard. It's another thing to be seen, to be taking adequate measures to address the suffering of the people. Or the day you will see people do hashtag Occupy Ministry of Power, Power Housing and Works. That day they suddenly should not be turned to the Satans and the police wielding batons and this thing and that. I'm not saying this ahead of time. It's not as if I'm omniscient. It's not as if I'm privy.
You're foreseeing something.
It's not as if I'm privy to any of these Occupy.
You are becoming Nostradamus.
I'm not Nostradamus. I'm just saying that once it is against yes. You see, when it becomes somebody else,
hope they will be able to stomach it.
Hope they will be able to stomach it. So I will still want to reserve my words of celebration for the police or the security agencies.
Yeah.
Because ordinarily the hashtag Occupy NAS campaign was against a character who has gained much in infamy recently and who is generally perceived to be an antagonist of the president and the ruling party. Although he's a prominent member of the, it's quite paradoxical what I'm going to say is the sometimes in Nigeria when you are doing political analysis it will seem as though Ori Okwe is worrying you, but ostensibly Saraki is a member of the APC, but in recent times he has gained much infamy as the major opponent of the president's effort to set out some machinery of governance, especially in the budget, as it were, and that. So if they are happy today, and the police did not wield the baton on people who did hashtag Occupy NAS, I hope when people, after having stomaching this power outage for so long, and now after having been perseverant, after having persevere for this long on the vandalization of pipeline,
lack of or scarcity of petroleum products, economic downturn.
If they start hashtag Occupy something that then directly confronts the people who are in charge of the machinery of coercion of the state, such as the police, the DSS, the army, I hope this machinery or institutions of coercion will not be used against the hashtag Occupy there. Because the imagine Occupy in Bikon, ìjọ tí àwọn shortfall Occupy somewhere else comes, learn to manage it.
Learn to manage it indeed. But let me ask you another
learn to manage it without abusing basic democratic tenets.
Okay, fantastic.
Abusing the rights of people, abusing people physically or whatever, because activism is always good in a democracy. It is one, indeed,
a good ingredient.
The highest soup that could be made in a democracy to bring people who are fortunate to be in government to order.
All right, and that order does not seem to pervade, the moral standings of some of our leaders in the society. By this, I simply mean in the years gone by, it is only one political leader that I have come to know who was a minister then and was allegedly accused of fraud. I think about 7 million naira then in the not up to 7 million, Ajaokuta steel scandal, the Minister of Steel Development then. You remember Dr. Paul Lunongo during the Second Republic. He had to resign. Why are present or modern day politicians always finding it difficult? You've been alleged. It is an allegation. But because you need to clear your name, why are you not stepping aside?
We have been subjected to a chain of profound degradation, indeed, degradation.
You don't want to use the word devaluation.
Desolation.
Okay.
Of our value system in the last, say, 25 to 30 years of this. Indeed, those who preceded this time have defined, not that they were saints in government, not that they were indeed better managers of our resources, but at least there were some modicum of this thing. But from the time of the from the time of the military destiny of Olusegun Obasanjo to the Second Republic, when people were conducting the affairs of government as though it was, when party chieftains were going abroad to make special
champagne,
specially labeled champagne for themselves
in their names.
When to the era, we had a little hiatus of a sort in the 1.5 to almost not quite 2 years that Buhari Diagbon came to cleanse the stable, and they were succeeded by a period of total recalibration and total degeneration of values in the 8 years of Babangida. To where we are now, we have lost some of the best of our values, and now public service is a kind of opportunism that people just use for self-aggrandizement. So if you know that the day they announce that GBOLA has been announced, or the GBOLA has been made
a minister,
and I know, and I start getting calls from people like Christian Ogodo and my other friends. Congratulations! You really deserve it. And when we are saying you really deserve it, we are not saying you really deserve it because it's time for you to really prove yourself
to work for Nigerians.
He's really deserve it, and when I come to visit you,
whatever you can finish it, clean it,
and whatever when next I visit you, give me something. That is what we have reduced public service to now. And in such a state, people would naturally become obstinate in holding on to power, not so much because they want to serve, but because it's the best business
available,
best commercial enterprise in this I wanted to say polity, then it occurred to me that when you say commercial enterprise, you must use the market.
Yes.
So it's the best business in this market. But having said that, I think some of us who undertake this kind of thing that I do, that's the public analysis, political analysis, sometimes we mislead people. Some people still resign.
Yeah.
Some still do resign. We have instances under Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, Babalola, the Minister of State for Finance, who, because he said, the guy later got vindicated, who, because he said NNPC was broke, they moved him from the Minister of Finance and moved him to the Minister of Special Minister of Special Duties. What did the guy do? He resigned. Even Wabara, Saraki is just one obdurate type. I'm telling you, Wabara was accused as the president of the Senate. What did he do?
He stepped aside.
He stepped aside. And when allegations were made that his certificates were this thing, what did he do?
He stepped
aside.
Okadibo too, please.
Okadibo too, when they said the
street lights for 70 million
and computers for this thing, he also stepped aside. On no instance amongst the three we mentioned in the Senate where this thing voted out. They knew, they could see the
handwriting on the wall.
And then, but in the case of Saraki, he's been this obstinate. Well, we shall see the end.
Okay, we shall see the end. Let's invite our viewers now to call us on our number and be part of this program. The hashtag Occupy NAS protest, a gathering revolution. And the number to call, like always, for our international callers, you add the international code +234 816 481 8001. I'll take that again. That number is right on the bottom right of your screen. But I'll take the number again for the benefit of unsighted viewers. They adds the international code of +234 816 481 8001. Please let your call keep coming. And but do you?
Let's see your title again for the day. I want to see whether you have a question mark. There should be a question mark in front of this Gating Revolution. The reason is that it should be a question hanging out there, because we are not very sure it's a revolution yet. So that's my suggestion.
Well, I think you want to look at the syntactic connotation of that. If I engage you in that, then
because
you would know that I do not only have a first degree in English, but a master's in English too.
Because of the question school.
It's all right. Let's go on. Now, we looked at it from that perspective, without missing what a revolution is. We're not talking of the violent revolution. We're talking of something that could just come and be part.
I know.
Yeah.
I was joking. But
I know.
But if I was to coin it, I probably would have used it, but I would have added the question mark. You know why I would have added the question mark? Because the question is hanging out there. We don't know whether this phenomenon will blow out like many other phenomena that have blown out in our polity, or whether.
Well, let's see how it goes. It's the viewers who would be determining that. You get the point, because of it's either what they are nourished with and the rest. And I think everybody in the society can see what is going on. Mr. President is, bemoaned the situation by saying that he regrets hardship in states and he's going to provide more funds and the rest. But one important thing here, against the backdrop of this protest, is the sustainability. Do Nigerians have that staying power on issues like this, situations like this?
I don't want to pretend to be omniscient. I cannot sit here and forecast tomorrow. But one thing I know is this: be they Nigerians, be they Mongolians, one universal axiom or one universal fact that human beings tend to play with is that if I'm discomfitured, I would at least cry for air. So,
sorry, Bola, before you cry for air, let's just quickly join our first caller here. And that's AB from Delta State. Good morning, AB.
Yeah, good morning, brother.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, I'm calling from Delta State.
All right.
Yeah, I thank people for your program.
Thank you.
Quite impressed with all your guests that have been coming.
All right.
Yes. It's just a question I want to ask in respect of this case.
Go on.
Yes. One thing I want to find out, assuming Saraki was not a Senate president, would this accusation would it have come up? Assuming it was just another lawmaker.
Okay, I'll leave that for our analysts to answer. Bola, you temper, both sides of the divide.
It probably won't. That was why I said earlier on that I will not sit here and pretend as though I don't also design or glean the fact that Saraki is being witch hunted. But if you really look at the dictionary meaning of witch hunt, It does not say that the person who is being witch-hunted has not committed the offense at hand. And I personally, and this is where I would differentiate my personal opinion from the fact, because some people, some political analysts, when you call them here, they will want to try and over-rationalize the justice, the inherent justice of Saraki's prosecution. I believe that it is not, if Saraki were not to have contested for the Senate presidency, or if he had not won the Senate presidency, I believe that he probably wouldn't have been prosecuted. But you know why I'm happy that he's been prosecuted now? Is that if Saraki goes down, it will further entrench the feud in the political class. And when there is a feud in the political class, those who benefit are usually OBA, GBOLA, and Ogodo. Those of us who are not members of the political class. Because intra-class clash will make them up the game of the quality of governance they give to us. And if Saraki goes down, some other people will go down.
Okay, let's wait until then. Emeka, good morning. He's calling us from Benue State. Where in Benue State are you calling us from?
From Boko.
From Boko. Okay, great. I know Boko, you guys have plenty of yams there.
I will post some to you.
Okay, thank you. Tell us what your thoughts are about protests in Nigeria and the hashtag Occupy NAS. Is it a revolution in the making?
In my own aspect, it's like also a question.
Okay. Go on.
Hello, can you hear me?
Very well. Go on.
It's like also a question. In terms of this hierarchy of a team now, for a long period of time, they have been following up over some issues. Then, is there no any other means, at least getting the particular things, the assets that they have alleged that is a property that he has and is not his own? Then, is there no any other means for Nigerians to like get the assets and then leave him, or give him a penalty for him to suffer over it, than following one particular case every blessed day?
Okay, thank you very much, Emeka. Well, that's if the man agrees to plea bargain, isn't it?
If he agrees to plea bargain, 1, 2, if listen, but Emeka, the best way to put a man down, even if you want to kill that man in a democracy, is to let the course or the machinery of law take its course. People like Emeka, who are rightfully irritated or exasperated by the
everyday
overdragging of a Saraki case, should just go and be a bit patient, because he must be given his day in court. And good enough, he is a well-resourced person. He has enormous resources, and we can see what he's also doing to frustrate the machinery of justice, getting his lawyers to go and get injunctions, some courts around, play this thing. So Emeka should be a bit patient.
Okay, let's join Charles from Owerri. Charles from Owerri. Good morning, Charles.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Ogodo.
Thank you very much. Thanks for joining us.
Yesterday, I was crying with you, seriously.
Oh.
When the young man was analyzing about how much they have recovered from Nigeria and nothing was wrong with the money. And now I'm seeing your face as you're smiling. And I know as you're smiling, you are crying as well. But my brother, you see, this my country, we have seen recovery of money, senators eating money, even maids in the House of Assembly making billions of naira. Now, my brother, my question is, when are we going to know how much has been recovered and what the money is going to be used for? Number one. Number two, is it not time for us, Nigerians, to let us, if the president means well for us, to act like Jerry Rawlings that one man can carry billions of dollars and naira back in the sockaway tank. Some had their own, the top of the ceiling. When their neighbors and people around them are dying of hunger, my brother, God, I'm watching you now. What are you talking about? I think it's that time we do baby show in this Nigeria, so people will know exactly that we are not crazy. This country belongs to everybody in Nigeria, my brother. Now, like you see, when I see some guys, Ajayi, people on the street, one guy said, if he's left alone, we should mobilize people to go to the House of our Senate and kill all of them.
That's too
now
much.
Look at Senator. Packing money.
Charles, thank you
Sir.
very much. That one is too much to kill everybody. It hasn't gotten to that.
Revolutionary.
The law must, be allowed to take its
the law
toll.
Must take its course. The people will lose more if we get ourselves to descend into a state of anarchy.
Absolutely.
Ultimately, the people that we are angry about or angry with, we must remember that they are adequately resourced. They have enormous amount of resources, not only to protect themselves. Look at the typical what happened in Rivers during the last
rerun election.
Rerun
House of Assembly election and National
legislature, legislative elections. Some people flew their own children out of Nigeria.
Oh yeah.
And the other people's children were
It's the poor people like us that are cut down, and the youth and the youth copper that was killed for no just cause.
We must always be very careful when we are agitating for go and kill them, go and this.
No.
It doesn't really work.
No. That's not protest. That's not revolution. We're talking of something that is going to bring back a peaceful change that will sanitize
improve the quality of governance, which will ultimately improve the quality of lives of the people. I believe that we need to either we call it a revolution or whatever. We need to change the general this thing of governance in Nigeria, but it could still be done within a constitutional order.
And in doing this on that constitutional order, you're 50-50 about how the police and the security agents, have handled the whole situation so far. And you talked about some political, undertones too, for and against. But the opposition has really been quiet, One would have expected that this is one tool that they would have exploited a lot, like this administration, this party did when they were in opposition and the rest.
You see...
Let's just quickly speak to Emeka first from Plateau. Good morning, Emeka.
Good morning, Mr. Christian.
Yeah, thanks very much for joining us. Tell us, what are your thoughts on this program?
I want to say that the Occupy NAS protest is a completely waste of time and a misplaced priority. I want to say that there are so many things that the youth of these days should be occupying National Aso Rock for. I don't think occupying NAS, removing Saraki, will provide fuel for my car or empower my generator. I don't think occupying NAS to remove Saraki will provide job for the teeming unemployed youth roaming about the streets in search of jobs. Imagine the police recruitment force. We have almost 1 million job seekers for 10,000 slots. And the people are occupying National Assembly to remove Saraki. I think it's a misplaced priority. Look at the state governors. Over 27 states cannot pay their workers' salary. And those people are not going to the State House of Assembly to occupy it, to make sure that the governors think out of the box to provide for their state. They are going to occupy Saraki to remove the the Senate President.
The
I don't
workers.
think Senate President is our problem. Removing him will not change anything. Is it what will cause reduce the inflation in the market? Will it reduce the cost of things in the market? So I think Mr. President should refocus on other things. It should not be about removing Saraki. Saraki, if his duty, he should start with them. But he should not make it as the priority that Saraki must go. Making his trial every day from morning till night, from Monday to Saturday, I think is a misplaced priority. Right from the ones that occupy and the presidency that is in support of the whole thing. The president should focus on his change agenda and leave Saraki out of the matter. We can follow Saraki gradually while we focus on the change agenda.
All right. Thank you very much, Emeka from Plateau State. Bola. Emeka has uploaded a lot of this thing that is not our priority, occupying national assembly.
In a democracy, Emeka has his own. Emeka has the right to have his own opinion expressed. But you know what? Emeka has not organized his own hashtag Occupy Aso Rock or his own hashtag Occupy State Assembly or whatever.
Or the Plateau State Government
the
House.
The people who have done their own now, which brought about the topic for today, is the hashtag Occupy NAS people, and they have held their own this thing. And to attend to your earlier question, that the opposition party does not seem to be exploiting or appropriating this protestation, using it as a tool of opposition against the ruling party. You see, and you said especially like the ruling party used to do when it was in opposition. You must remember that the total time it took the ruling party to be in opposition in its matured state. I'm not talking about the legacy parties that ultimately formed the APC. The total time it took them was less than 2 years. And it was about the time that, you know, the discomfiture of the people and the disillusionment of the people against the then government had built up. So the ruling party must not be fooled to think that because PDP is not presently...
That is docile. No.
I usually tell people, opposition parties don't win elections. Ruling parties lose them. And ruling parties lose elections because of one arrogance to the people
the electorate.
Internal squabbles. Don't argue seeing all those phenomena about APC now.
All right. Okay. Let's right here in Lagos, Patrick has joined us. Good morning, Patrick.
Good morning, my brother.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Tell us, what do you think?
Sincerely, I want to appreciate you and the young man there.
GBOLA OBA.
I really want to thank you people for your job.
Thank you.
I said that God will bless you in Jesus' name.
Amen.
But please, there is something I want to say concerning the Saraki issue.
Go on.
The senators, they say we that must go to APC must go with a clean hand.
Clean hands,
The senators are not clean. Most especially the former governor of Akwa Ibom State. That is Governor
Godswill Akpabio.
The leader of the opposition.
Everybody knows that man is a thief. And nobody is hunting him. Why the Saraki?
Nobody has come up with any allegation against Senator Godswill Akpabio.
In fact, there was a lot of allegation against him. There was a lot of allegation against him for what he did for 8 years that he stayed in Akwa Ibom State. Even the money he borrowed, about 8.something billion.
Well, so sorry, we lost Patrick.
There are allegations against Akpabio. You know what? You've not taken him to court yet. And allegations are allegations.
Until when they are proven.
Until when they get to court and they stand the integrity of also
the test of time.
Of also being challenged.
Yes.
So, as at this juncture, Akpabio is where Akpabio is.
He's an innocent man. He's a senator of the Federal Republic.
He's as innocent as Mr. Patrick.
Yeah.
But if anybody believes that there are risks against him, and he's not the only ex-governor in the Senate chamber.
No. Quite a number of them.
There's a school now, including Saraki himself.
A school of ex-governors.
A school of ex-governors, or indeed a caucus of ex-governors in the Senate.
It's quite interesting, Bola, and
interesting but saddening too. Very saddening if you really look at it. After 8 years in an executive role, after 8 years in an executive role, for most of these guys, Jakonde only spent 4 years in Lagos. There are places you will go to in Lagos today
Jakonde structures
without putting his name to it. Jakonde never commissioned any estate, never opened any this thing and said this is Jakonde estate. But because of the legacy he left, there are so many directions of Lagos you go to today and you see Jakonde estate here, Jakonde this thing there. He's in Lekki Aja axis, he's in Isolo axis, he's in this thing. So after 8 years, some of them will say go and sit down in the.
Yeah, I'll be with you. Can my master control room guy, can he spell Plato very well, my friend? Yes, Matthew, good morning.
No, see, Matthew calling from Jos Plateau State.
Yes, I know, Matthew. That's why I said they should spell your state very well. That's not the spelling of Plateau State. Can you spell that very well now? Okay, thank you, Matthew. Let's go on. What are your feelings or your thoughts about hashtag Occupy NAS, and is it a revolution in the making? Are we doing the protest very well?
Actually, what I have to say is really the outgoing, or should I say the present Nigerian politicians for now, they've really, really disappointed us, sincerely. I'm speaking on behalf of the Nigerian youth presently.
Okay.
Because we are not really finding things easy at all. At all. We've been looking forward for a positive change. We thought actually we voted a change, but things are getting worse. And to be sincere to you, I foresee a true revolution. When we talk about revolution, I really foresee a true revolution coming soon. If our politicians if they don't change now, I think it might be too bloody in the future. I just pray they change. I just pray they change because we are not finding it easy.
Okay, you have to get your pastor to join in the prayers, so that it does not become bloody. We're just talking of change that is peaceful, the change, like the kind of change that brought the APC government, into power. No bloodshed. That's not what we want.
You see, the APC, the ruling party, must be very, very fearful of remarks such as the last caller made.
Yeah. That young man can't be more than 23, 24.
I don't even want to go into the business of speculating his age. But one thing is for sure, he is a bona fide Nigerian. He is likely an elector. And when an average elector is talking in the manner, in a manner that expresses disillusionment and dissatisfaction like the last caller, is an indication that people are gradually
losing faith.
They said that this was not the change they voted for. You must have voted APC. So for you to use such a language, am I making a point?
Yeah, even if he didn't vote the party, what he wants is developmental issues.
So about time, the leadership of the APC revisited their manifesto promises and the promptness or speed with which they bring about some of those realities and some of those promises. You know.
Okay, let's go to Benin City, the Edo State capital, and join Nwokoro. Good morning, Nwokoro.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. How is Benin today?
Oh, very well.
Oh, great. I hope the activities of cultists, armed robbers, and the rest is really died down there. Well,
Yeah.
that's the IGP state, so I'm sure we would have deployed crack detectives there and the rest to put them down.
Yeah, my question.
Go on.
This issue of Saraki, is there any law that compels him to resign when he's not yet proven guilty? Why are these people fighting for him to leave the place? He's already on trial. Let the trial go and let it conclude it and the court take decisions. Okay. Why are they fighting that he should leave when the trial is still going on? That's my question.
Okay, thank you, Nwokoro. But let me just, in a typical Nigerian fashion, ask you this question too. Why is it that when a policeman commits an offense, he is quickly put on trial, oddly room trial, and is dismissed and prosecuted?
You say why? He's already accused and he goes on trial. That's police rules.
Is what I'm telling. Well, okay. Let our guest analyst answer you. Thank you very much. Anyway, you know, Bola, did you get that?
Wabara was accused. When allegations were made against Wabara that he was privy to how some members of the Senate were collecting
kickback for padding budgets,
collecting monies from executive officials for padding the budgets of their budgetary allocations to their
ministries, particularly Ministry of Education.
The instance that the instance that brought him down was the instance of the Minister of Education taking Ghana must go allegedly to Wabara's
54 million naira.
50-something million naira. He resigned. When Oyi of Oyi, the late
Senator Kadigbo,
Senator
Chuba
Kadigbo, when the allegations were made that he misappropriated the budgetary allocation of the Senate, and that he signed to. He was not the one who went to the market to go and buy those things, but that he bought things at hyper-inflated prices or hyper-exaggerated. He resigned because when late Senator Ewerem was alleged to have
forged the certificate.
He resigned.
I remember I said
there was no law that said Ewerem should resign because there were allegations of certificate forgery against him, and there was no prima facie court conviction yet.
No.
There was no law that says Okadigbo should resign for mere allegations of this thing, because a prima facie conviction had not been gotten from the court of law yet.
Yes.
And what Wabara did too, they were not doing it because they had been convicted. It is just dignifying.
Yeah.
Because of the lofty nature of the office.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. We will leave the Senate presidency and still be in the Senate.
Yeah. Okay, let's quickly go across the Atlantic Ocean to Gabon.
No, you are not going across.
Yeah.
You are going
okay, around the Atlantic Ocean to Gabon. Good morning, Prince.
Good morning.
Yeah.
I'm Prince, coming from Gabon.
Yeah, good morning, Prince. Thanks for joining us from Gabon.
Yeah, I want to contribute in 10 cents. I think thank you a lot for your effort.
Thank you.
I want to contribute on this 10 cents.
Go on.
Occupying that is the solution to Nigeria's problem. Okay. The lead solution and the lead problem is that APC government has never been serious what they are doing. First of all, it's issues of meeting budgets, issues of dollar against naira, now petroleum, now again occupying that. What is really going on in Nigeria?
all these issues have never been resolved. And somebody is occupying payload for one person. And citizens are suffering, and what are suffering? If the SEC government needs to know what they are doing, I'm waiting for the late time for election to come out and start to all of things together. So the SEC government needs to put things in order for them to achieve the goal. So I know that I think an FCC, if they can sanction it for the party and carry on with their. There are many things to do in Nigeria. There are many issues, and people are suffering, people are dying. So I think are creating and nothing is going on. And now they are putting into the agenda of occupying land. This is not just.
Hello, Prince. All right, so sorry there, we've lost Prince, but I think he made his point, you know, that occupying NAS is not...
you could see that because the last caller, Prince is a trader and an international trader. He was particular more about the dollar exchange.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
So, life is about you shouting when something
if it pinches.
Something pricks you or pinches you where you listen. But having said that, on the aggregate,
yeah, on the aggregate, I would want you to be rounding up and tell us. Yeah,
I am happy that the displeasure either to a man or the displeasure either to institutions of state or the displeasure to the general attitude of governance is now making Nigerians to stand up and agitate for what they believe in. I may not necessarily agree with what they are agitating for, but the phenomenon of activism in a democracy for me is a positive development.
Fantastic. Yes, indeed. Let's take that away from this program today, that the phenomenon of the hashtag Occupy NAS protest, gathering revolution,
activism I didn't say
whether it is activism or a protest, it's a matter of semantics here. Yes, that is one thing to take away, but not the kind of revolution that Plateau State caller Emeka was saying. No, not a bloody one at all. It's a peaceful one. You occupy, you make your points known, and the other party too will make their points known. And thereabouts, changes will come only naturally, not from creating tsunamis or tornadoes or earthquakes and the rest. That's our program for today, Friday, on Core Digest, and incidentally, the last for this week. I'll be seeing you on May Day, which is Workers' Day. What would the workers of Nigerians be celebrating that Monday, the 2nd of May, has been declared a public holiday? Would invite a few of them here to come and tell us what their situation is, and if possible even get one of the market women here, or we'll get one of those street stories, the people, to feel their pulse again all over. Thanks for being part of this program, and for the entire production crew all through the week, I say a big thank you to you. My name is Christian Opedono. I must mention GBOLA Oba. Thank you very much, GBOLA. We're having a good weekend together, are we?
You're on your bill. I'm always ready to occupy your pocket.
Okay. Oh, that's a new one. Hashtag occupy your pocket. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, GBOLA, for always being part of us. And my name is Christian Obodo. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye.
On the day list this morning, Nigeria.
Is it warocracy or autocracy? Or what type of crazy is that? Except crazy.
News making the headlines.
Black Maria is to carry criminals, treasure looters, that are in government today.
Sometimes it gets confrontational.
Slap you in the face.
Excuse me, don't put words into my mouth.
Whatever it is that will bring our military to disrepute, I say to hell.
On Core Digest,
I want to know why I should be believing them.
Every weekday, we bring all of these together and take them to the court of public opinion.
Everybody have the right in Nigeria.
Where you are the judge.